Rikers Island, Netas, Kings, Bloods, Gangs. Today, here, we're going to talk about all that happened in the New York City jail. And we have a special guest on the show today. A call-in from Little Mario, who I knew as Sade from Sunset Park, one of the Netas in the early 90s. And guess what? He's not a made-up Nieta. He's not a make-believe Nieta. With all respects to everybody, he was actually Nieta, because I remember as a youngin, me seeing him walking through with the Nieta beads as the Nietas were progressing and growing in New York City and Sunset Park, and the gang culture exploded.
Because when I told my story on that guy's channel, I said something about Wildcat. Somebody had texted me and say, listen, what else happened, blah, 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 with the Wildcat situation. So they got interested, which I made the conclusion on my page, and I said, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't the time that he went cutting people and people jumped over the fence. We had a war in C-95 that I don't know for sure, but I think Solo was there also. That they cut all of us. Some people were jumping the fence, and I was helping my brothers. So that's when I got cut. Then they sent me to the Bing, and that same day they were transferring Wildcat, Bad Vibes, Pimp, and all these guys. Everybody was heading to the Bing that day, and I happened to be on that bus. And that's the story that I was saying. I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? He was my next door neighbor, and they kept making fun of his name, Aponte, Marco Aponte, the CEOs. And that's how I remembered his name. And he told me straight out, yo, papi, don't go outside, bro. They're going to kill you. And that's the story that I told. And I'm like, yeah, Wildcat was right beside me. And I got the paperwork. And I kept saying, yo, I got paperwork. Fuck that. I'll show my shit. So that was that story. I know the one you're talking about, when he was, I guess, in the Bing or whatever. He started chasing people. He jumped over the fence or whatever.
Listen, I'm sorry to cut you off. Yo, I was gonna tell you this. But Wildcat, the dude Wildcat came out and told you, yo, papi, don't go outside, they're gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Damn, he kind of like looked out for you.
That's what I'm saying. And it's all in there in the story. I don't know if you heard it or whatever, but I was saying he was next to me, and everybody knew that I was food. So they all were like, doing that little shout out. So when I went into my cell, I approached him first. I'm like, damn, bro, these motherfuckers gonna kill me, this and that. He knocked on the wall. He's like, yo, papi, papa. He called me papa or papi. One of them words, papi or papa. He's like, yo, papi, I'm gonna give you a heads up, bro, because you're Latino. I'm Latino too. I didn't know who he was. Now is that I found out, oh shit, that was the Wildcat. But anyway, he was like, I'm gonna give you a heads up, papa. Don't go to the yard, bro. They're gonna kill you out there. And I'm like, damn, bro, fuck it. Good looking out, bro. And that's exactly what happened. I stood in my cell. They went to the yard and whatever, But then it continued. They moved me to the 5th floor. And then we went to the yard one day coming down the stairs. And they were coming from the yard. And we had it out right there. And I told that story. The conclusion is on my page. And Wildcat was the first one to get it. Boom! And that's it. Now I wanted to continue because that's when the other part starts, when I got locked up again, and then Jacquel and all that. So I'm going by the years. When I came home, then I came out, and I bumped into this one. Now I'm going back in, and I see this one. So that's how that all came down.
So check this out. Let me ask you something, my guy. You just said,
what's up?
And Wildcat was the first one to get it. Wow, what you mean? So you gave it to Wildcat or who?
No, not me. Not me. I said it in my story. There was a Latin King that he was in the front, and he set it off first. So everybody's chained up. So once he set it off, we all had to set it off. We couldn't stay there, nah, man, I'm not down with that shit. No, we all had to fight. So he jumped on Wildcat because Wildcat had a green light on him. That name was ringing bells, but I didn't know who he was. The king knew who he was, and he just jumped in, and we just started fighting everybody. He was like with 5 or 6 guys in the yard. We had about 10 guys. It was Kings, and I was like, me and one more Nieta. The rest were Kings.
to, you lose it. You leave it in that cell.
When I came through, I seen it was me against the world. Nobody was with me. It was me in my own corner. I had to hold my own weight.
So you see where he says, when he came through, it was him against the world. Nobody was in his corner. He had to hold his own. That's exactly the way it is. It's HYO. You have to HYO the situation. Hold your own. That's just facts. That's the way it goes, bro. Because dudes can say they're on your side. And this is for the people, like, if you never been incarcerated, you're a good dude, and that's what's up. Because oftentimes we spend our life thinking that we tough or something because we went to Rikers. That's not what it is, bro. Jail don't make you tough because you been up north don't make you tough, right? To me, today is what you do after. But check it out. We're going to get into a whole lot more.
I came through, I did me, whatever, you know. I got into a few other cases in jail, whatever. I held my way. I stayed in for 3 years. Came home, now I'm back on a homicide, you know. It's like right now, I'm facing the rest of my life in jail.
That's how my life is.
Now they thug for life because they know they going up there. No one's...
Yo, that dude right there that just took off his shirt, it says Hell Rail, whatever. I used to see some of these dudes on the island. This is facts, bro. As I was coming up as a youngin', I remember, bro, and I'm bad with faces, but certain dudes I never really forgot. And I always say this, bro, and, bro, sometimes I don't say certain things. You feel like you're over-exaggerating or someone may think you lying, but I have no need to lie. This is facts. Check this out, bro, right? I used to see him, but he had that aura, like, you got to give props where props is due, like, right? It's sad because that's the lifestyle that we was living, and that's what we was into, but was nobody playing with him, bro. I guarantee you, whoever says different, they lying. I don't know what situations, you know, because something always happens to somebody. When you're doing gangster things are going to happen. But I know the times I seen him, he wasn't in none of my houses, never. I always seen him like in the hallways or something. But the Bloods respected him. Everybody just stood away from him. But I'm pretty sure he was a good dude because deep down inside, dudes be good dudes. You know what I'm saying? I used to do the same thing because coming up on the island, I seen it a lot. So I was like, okay, boom, boom. And I wanted to be that. And it's sad. I became that. You know what I mean? And I started doing the same thing I seen others doing. On Rikers Island, it's like a lot of cutting game. Everybody want to cut everybody. And it's sad, bro. It's real sad. Facts.
Good gangster game, gangster thug hand in hand, they gonna lose.
Unpredictable. That's there because no telling what I might do to you. I mean, I might ride with you, but I might cheer your ass up the next day. That's how you gotta be in here.
I got to do me and I got to hold me. You know, this is my crime right here. This is my partner. He got my back, I got his back. This is the way we rolling, you know.